Introduce ourselves and then we'll get cracking on the content. So, Claudia, do you want to go first and introduce yourself?
Yeah, sure. So I'm Claudia. I'm the senior affiliate manager here at Modo25. I've been here now almost 4 years. But prior to that, worked brand side as well and also agency side. So kind of a wealth of experience in affiliate scaling programs, both in the UK and other territories as well.
Cool, thanks, Claudia. And I'm Tom. I head up the paid team here at Modo25. So, looking after affiliates, but also everything else, performance marketing as well, from programmatic to PPC and Meta and other social channels as well. But today we're going to be talking about affiliates, and the title that we've gone with is The Ugly Truth About Your Affiliate Program. Um, and what inspired us to put this one together was seeing some of the like audits that we've done recently and some of the new accounts coming in, and maybe some of the traps that people fall into around affiliate marketing, and how you can try and avoid these and how you can look out for them if you think maybe that they could be happening to you as well. So if we just go to the next slide, we've got a little bit of agenda. So these are some of the points we'll be talking about. Claudia, if you want to go through some of those.
Yeah, of course. So we have got a couple of slides on these as well, but we have avoided death by PowerPoint. So we'll be kind of sharing this after the deck. And if anyone's got any questions, please jump in as we're going through. We'll also have a bit of time for Q&A at the end. But kind of the key things that we wanted to look at was incrementality, so kind of measuring the true value of your affiliate program, so making sure that you can, genuinely say that these sales wouldn't have happened without the affiliate activity, and avoiding all of that kind of lower funnel, last click affiliate activity that just kind of ups your revenue, but actually, potentially isn't valuable revenue or valuable traffic that you're receiving. Also how we can help you to utilize data sources. So looking at kind of platform data, looking at GA data, looking at kind of other data sources as well, just to make sure that you're making sure that your affiliate program is really incremental and you're knowing exactly where your traffic and revenue is coming from. Also a bit about kind of how affiliate activity can complement other channels. A lot of the time, affiliates sometimes sits kind of in silo by itself. Some people think, oh, it might not fit into performance, doesn't fit into organic. So sometimes it can be siloed. So we really avoid that here at Modo25 and just we've done a lot of testing with how affiliates can kind of complement other channels. So we're kind of going into that a bit. Also, you can effectively scale an affiliate program, especially if you're doing that as an agency and there's potentially limited budget, limited resource, key things that we found to overcome those challenges, and how you can reach new audiences. One of the great things with affiliate marketing is it can help you reach a wide range of people that potentially other channels can't reach. So just kind of a bit about how we've managed to reach new audiences with some of our clients and how we can recommend the best way to do that.
Cool. Thanks, Claudia. So I guess this comes straight onto the first point, which is, yeah, what does good look like for affiliates, and where did some of these traps start to appear? So this is some anonymized data looking at an affiliate program sort of pre having attention on it and post having attention on it. And what we can see here is actually over the time, so this is roughly over 12 months, you can see that top line revenue decreased from 160-ish to around 70-ish thousand. But actually, that measurable incremental revenue improved significantly along that time. So from sort of 35,000-ish incremental revenue to just above 50,000 in incremental revenue. And I think that's what we see as probably the most common fault when we come across affiliate platforms is that they're driving maybe a whole host of revenue, and the business is really happy with that, but then actually nobody's ever looked about, well, what if we suddenly turned all this off? How much revenue would we actually lose over time? And how much more revenue could we be getting? And also bear in mind, you're probably paying commission on a lot of this as well. So your costs might be inflated, but actually your incremental revenue isn't that high. Um, so this is kind of an extreme example, but I think is probably one of the most common ones that we see people fall into. So if we skip to the next slide, how do we sort of avoid this? And I think there's sort of two big parts to this. One is making sure that you don't fall into that in the first place, and then two is like how can you kind of understand your way out of it. So I guess most important is measurement and being able to understand what that incremental value is. So this here, we've put some examples of things you could do to try and understand these values. And actually, I put MMM or incrementality. I actually think the answer is maybe both MMM and incrementality testing in the case of affiliates. And these can help you really get to what a true incremental revenue amount is. And we'll cover that a bit in a bit more detail later. And then it's how you reward your affiliates as well. So again, some might be really great revenue drivers, but not driving that much incremental, and some might be smaller, but driving much more incremental value. And we want to make sure that we're rewarding affiliates on that basis. And then also, I think understanding what we mean by incremental value as well. We've heard a lot of discussions around, what if it's driving new customers, it must be incremental for us. Um, and we would disagree that that's the case. I think a new customer can be a good form of measurement and show business growth. But does that mean that the channel that won the last click on a new customer was incremental? I would dispute that, and that's something that we'll cover in a bit as well. And I would also, oh, this customer's already shopped with us before, and therefore they're not worth anything. We don't want to reward that. It's not part of what we want to do. And again, I think that is a misunderstanding of what incremental value is as well, because it goes much deeper than just new versus returning, in our opinion. I think they can be good signals, but they're not the only signal. So if we go to the next slide. So this is where, again, another trap, which is understanding incrementality. So this might be, for example, a new customer will say that was if an affiliate won that new customer, then that's valuable and we want to reward that affiliate more. We want to do more of that activity. But actually, it's more of a behavioral shift that we're trying to change here. And we want affiliates to be part of how we influence our customers' behavior, not whether they're just new or returning. So I'll give the example of if I discover a new website, I find a t-shirt that I really like, I'm going to go ahead and buy it. But then I think, oh, you know what? I'm just going to go and check to see if there's a discount code for that anyway. Put in a discount code, convert. The end result is whoever's sitting on the other side of that will go, won a new customer there. That was great incremental value from us. And actually, that probably wasn't the case because I was going to buy the t-shirt anyway. I just thought I'd chance it on a voucher code at the end. Um, and actually thinking about it in the reverse as well. If you've got a customer that shopped with you before, I really like the shirt that I bought before, and I come back and look on the website and oh, the price has gone up, or a competitor's a bit cheaper at the moment, and I think, yeah, you know what, I'm just going to go buy from the competitor and save myself a few pounds. That's where you could get some incremental value from an affiliate program because if they influence my decision and win back myself as a customer, then that was incremental because you were about to lose me. I was about to go buy my shirt from someone else because it was slightly cheaper. And in that case, I was still valuable and you still won a sale you wouldn't have got otherwise. So, yeah, the whole sort of new versus returning, I think, is a little bit of a red herring sometimes and doesn't really show customer behavioral changes um, all the time, really. And then when we talk about single source of measurement, I guess this is how can we just look at one particular um, channel or analytics platform and really get to the bottom of is this what good looks like? So there might be a good chance to pass over to Claudia here and just talk a bit about like how GA4 as a platform might differ to um, an affiliate program and the platform data that you would see there, and the differences between the two.
Yeah, of course. I mean, this was a huge topic of discussion a couple of years ago when everyone moved from UA from to 360 to J4. We saw for the majority of our clients, or for all of our clients, affiliate revenue just dropped completely off a cliff. We were seeing, really high percentages of affiliate contribution that then went really, really low. Um, GA is kind of looking at all the kind of the whole journey, which UA was, but it's looking at it a lot more in depth. And affiliates, because a lot of it is last click and a lot of kind of brands that did have just last click, kind of predominant affiliates really did see the result of that. So one thing that we look at with our clients is kind of not looking at all the data sources in silo, but actually looking at a combination of them. So, the affiliate network is always, going to report every single, because it's just last click affiliate. So, that's always going to be a lot higher. GA is always going to be a lot lower because, they're looking at the whole journey, and affiliates does tend to be, just with the way it's kind of set up, penalized a bit more than other channels. I know it's also not a Google channel as well. So what we tend to look at with our clients is something in the middle of kind of those two values, and also look at different reports. So AWIN have quite a lot of publisher reports set up. They have like training path reports, so you can actually see, right, where did this customer start their journey, and also AWIN will take into account other channels, so you can actually see, right, did they start it on paid social, or did they start it with this affiliate publisher and then actually transact on this one. So kind of just looking at those reports just to make sure you know exactly which affiliates potentially are more incremental and which are more last click. And then going back to what Tom said, you can then actually devise a strategy where you're actually rewarding more of the incremental affiliates rather than kind of just having a blanket commission rate to every single affiliate, but actually, right, which ones are we seeing are driving incremental revenue, are driving potentially more returning customers, and also driving new customers, which you want to focus on, and then you can, increase their commission or increase their cost per lead accordingly.
Yeah, that's great. And I think, yeah, as Claudia said there, it's our, or the way we talk to our clients now is about this sort of a triangle of measurement, which is actually you need your analytics, you need your platform data, and what we've been working on more recently, I would say, is including MMM as part of that as well. So how does MMM gives you that sort of broad overall, where's the value coming from and what's the uplift from the sort of larger campaigns that you're doing? And then you break that down to an analytics level, and that gives you like click data, and then you break it down to sort of platform level, and then you've got the sort of nitty-gritty data down to individual partners and things like that. So actually, there's no one size fits all. And if you're just looking at one of these to judge how your affiliates are doing, you probably don't have the full picture. You really need all three of that triangle to understand how your affiliates is going. And then the final point here is about upper funnel. And I think, again, upper funnel definitely, you could broad brush this and say that upper funnel is more incremental than a voucher code. And I think that's fair to say. However, how do you judge upper funnel versus other types of upper funnel marketing? And again, it goes back to those behavioral changes of customers. So actually, if you run a piece of upper funnel activity through your affiliate program and customer behavior didn't change, and what that might look like is, going to a different page, looking at different products, conversion rate changes, time on website, that actually might not have been that valuable. But if you saw, you ran a piece of content, for example, around one product, and that product saw a massive increase in traffic, and people started visiting that from the homepage, or they behaved how they changed how they behaved, and they shopped more on that page, or they spent more time researching it, then you've made a behavioral change. And even if some of those customers were returning or new, you've had an impact with that. So yeah, when we talk about incrementality, we're really thinking behavioral rather than sort of one static source of trying to understand, yeah, how incremental they were. Now, I think probably the natural question that follows up from this is like, how can I do some incrementality testing? What can I look at? So we've given a couple of examples on the next slide of types of tests that we do. So yeah, I don't know, Claudia, if you want to cover the first one, I can cover point two, and then you can do point three.
Yeah, of course. So the first one that you can look at within affiliates is actually publisher level incrementality test. So This could be as specific as we've done a couple of tests in the past with kind of geolocation with CSS partners. So you could actually switch off certain locations to not see CSS and like Google Shopping ads. And actually work out from there, is there then going to be an increase in um, paid shopping activity that you're actually running kind of yourself or through another agency, or are you actually going to still, or is the so therefore you can actually measure, is the affiliate CSX activity incremental? So we have, like I say, ran this test before and we have found like some really strong results that actually the affiliate CSS activity that we were running was incremental, as when we switched off certain locations, they weren't actually picked up by the paid shopping campaigns. So it was just kind of really leveraging and just showing the strength of kind of running CSS campaigns alongside your paid shopping activity, which a lot of the time can be kind of a common question that we'll get when potentially different agencies running paid shopping, or if we've got kind of internal teams looking at paid shopping, how actually we can make sure that affiliates is complementing that activity. And then publishers can also do a lot with themselves with incrementality tests. So you could look at, say if you're looking at a voucher site, you want to see how incremental it is. Instead of just having a voucher code on the site that anyone can see, run a specific newsletter. You can all tailor that as well geographically, or you could tailor it to a certain kind of user demographic and interests with a specific discount code and see what the uplift is from that. You can get kind of a lot of data all the time from the publishers in terms of like click-through, open rate. And that will then help you to understand, actually, is this audience that is part of this publisher, are they kind of aligning with with your audience? Are they actually converting? And is that publisher actually driving incremental revenue? So I think those are kind of the main ones that we would do. But if you are struggling with kind of incrementality and knowing if your affiliate program is incremental, I would definitely recommend reaching out to key publishers. First of all, looking at kind of those different reports that you can access, and then if there's any publishers that are standing out, reaching out to them to see what if there's anything they can do. A lot of publishers already have kind of, some incrementality tests that they can run for you. So definitely worth an option to kind of reach out to them and see if there's anything they could do for you in that respect.
Perfect. And then I guess point two is maybe the nuclear option, which is a full on off basically. Now, I would be careful about this type of test, but also there's quite a lot of value to gain from it as well. And that is if you were to just turn off everything, make sure that you turn it off for long enough that your conversion window has fully closed. Because if you turn stuff off for 2 weeks, but it takes customers 5 weeks to make a purchase, you're not going to learn anything from the test. So really, this has to be something that has full business buy-in, and yeah, has a significant length of time that you can understand the impact. Now, obviously, within holdout as well, there's another option, which is something I've seen a couple of clients do, which is like a permanent off in a certain percentage of affiliate activity. So that might be if you turn off 5%, 10% of activity, keep 90% running, because incrementality is also not a fixed point. It's going to change over time. And by having an always off segment, you will be able to see when that's going up and when that's going down. So that will give you real time results basically on how incremental you are. Now, again, there's some risk with that, which is you're basically cutting off 5 to 10% of your revenue that you could be driving from affiliates, but many would say that's worth it to try and get the results. And then over to point three.
Yeah, so this again just goes into kind of how you can actually see if a publisher or your affiliate channel is incremental. So looking at kind of conversion paths and looking at overlap analysis. So looking at kind of what percentage of your affiliate customers have actually seen some of your ads before on different channels, and actually how much of the affiliate channel is incremental or how much of it is just complementing that activity, and how much of them would have converted anyway, like Tom mentioned with the kind of discount code example. So like I mentioned, there's a lot of great reports within the affiliate network, so definitely kind of have a play around with them. Awin have recently kind of created a lot more reports, and Impacts have got quite a few in there as well. All the main affiliate networks are very kind of het up a lot of the time as well on incrementality themselves. So definitely have a look around within the affiliate network that you're using and see kind of what tools you've got to assess the incrementality of not only your publishers but of the whole affiliate program. And then we'll just come on to brand partnerships. This is kind of a really strong way to kind of reach new audiences and something that can, be very much incremental for your brand. It's not so much kind of voucher focused on a voucher site out to everyone, but you can be very, very tailored and very specific as to who you'd want to target. So what you can do with these partnerships is choose to be promoted by another brand or to promote a brand. So you see this a lot of the time at checkout where it will say, select your free gifts, and it could be something like a coffee subscription or kind of a free trial of something, or, a percentage off an offer, a percentage off a product. But with this, you can be extremely targeted with who you're looking at targeting. So you can actually look at the data from a brand that you want to target and see actually does that align with what you want to look at, with the kind of the customer that you want to go after, and then choose to be promoted or promote that brand. There's a wealth of partnership opportunities on the Awin interface and also other affiliate networks. Awin have like their own kind of partnership program within Awin where you can see kind of all the brands that are willing to promote a brand or be promoted. So you can kind of get, first look at it all and see, go through, is there any that actually align with our target customer? And we've done quite a bit ourselves in-house with one of our clients with this. So this was Grubby, which is a vegan meal subscription service. So kind of really the perfect audience is because you can kind of offer, free boxes and things like that. And, then customers potentially really enjoy the products and they actually want to continue with the subscription. So we've just got a bit of an example here as to how that performs. So they actually went live with My Vegan, which perfectly aligns with Grubby's target customer. So they would have had a lot of potentially crossover in customer, but also there would have been a huge amount of My Vegan customers that Grubby would have been able to go after. And what would happen was it was a gift with purchase was offered to all My Vegan customers. So after somebody had made a purchase on My Vegan, they would then receive an email to redeem their reward. The audience was then retargeted if they hadn't redeemed the offer. So you can also get a lot of data from My Vegan in terms of, how many people have received the email, how many people have opened it, and it really does kind of help you to target a wide range of people. We had 120K reach, and 56 conversions using the Grubby inset, which Grubby with kind of they've got quite small numbers at the minute. They're growing, so this is a really good way to kind of accelerate their growth and really target their absolute target customer with utilizing My Vegan's database. Another thing that we wanted to touch on as well was kind of how to scale an affiliate program, especially when potentially there might not be the resource to do that if you're kind of, running a small agency or you've got a lot of kind of affiliate programs that you're trying to look after at the same time. So one thing to look at is kind of automate where you can. And one of the main ways to do this in a really effective way is actually triggered newsletter sends. So within the affiliate network, setting up certain rules to kind of go out to publishers so you're not having to constantly be checking, who's just joined the program, who do I need to email now to say welcome to the program, or who's just driven the first 10 sales, who do I need to email to congratulate. But actually setting up these rules has been something that's kind of, really can grow an affiliate program really effectively because your affiliate publishers think, oh wow, they're constantly on it. They know exactly what I'm doing. That's great. It keeps those lines of communication open. And with affiliates being so relationship driven, this is a really great way to just keep those relationships going without having to be, every single day, like I said, logging in and checking, we might have 5 new publishers today, right? I need to email them all and say, welcome to the program. You can just have an email that's ready to go with kind of brand guidelines, any new discount codes, any T's and C's, what they need to know, contact details, and could invite them as well to a call, like an intro call, and they will get that when they join the program. Also want to look at activation versus recruitment. So it's all well and good having an affiliate program with 500 publishers, but you actually need to be able to activate those publishers. So once you've got to a point in your affiliate program where you've got quite a good range of publishers, and you've kind of got all the publisher types that you want to be working with, then focus on growing the reputable partners in your program, and making sure you're focusing on having calls with them every month and doing performance reviews with them, doing exposure reviews with them, just making sure that the brand is always front of mind to the publishers. Then you also want to be focusing on the right partners as well. So you'll know yourself, whether you're the client or whether you're the agency, which type of affiliate partners you want to work with. Now, some brands don't want to work with discount codes, they might not want to work with cashback, they might not want to work with display. So just make sure that you're focusing on those right partners to enable you to scale the program effectively and make sure that you've not got kind of auto approval switched on for all your partners, but actually you're still, you're checking every partner that joins the program to make sure that they're the right fit for your program and then reward them accordingly as well. That's definitely going to help you scale the program. If the affiliates know they're going to be rewarded, then they're more likely to promote the brand. So whether that's through regular commission reviews and kind of moving publishers to higher commission, or it could be bonus incentives. So, the first publisher in this group to reach X amount of sales gets rewarded with, this bonus. Just kind of key things to make sure that the affiliates know that you're actually paying attention to what they're doing and you want to help them grow themselves as well. I don't know, Tom, if you had anything to add to that.
I think, yeah, this sort of maintenance of publishers is sort of key to going back to what we talked about earlier as well, which is getting that efficiency from your affiliates. I think if you once you know what each affiliate's doing, and hopefully you're grouping them as well into types of behavior, um, then you're able to see, what the additional benefit is that they're bringing, and you can devise strategies around the segmentation that you come up with as well. Um, so yeah, that sort of, as Claudia said, like controlling the amount of affiliates that you're bringing in, making sure that you're aware of what each one's doing is going to be really important. Um, because I think it can be quite easy to just go gung ho and just invite as many affiliates on board as humanly possible, but then actually it's really hard to keep track of what's working and what's not for you.
Yeah. And then just a bit about kind of how to best manage an affiliate program and how to make sure that you can be the best affiliate manager that you can be. So we have touched on this before, but kind of building relationships. So the affiliate industry is very much is built on relationships. You'll be speaking to publishers all the time, and you want to make sure the brand you're managing is front of mind for them if they've got any last minute exposure opportunities or if they've got any kind of commission increase opportunities they want to put you in. So building relationships, so attending industry events as and when you can. It's also a really great way to learn about the industry and to stay up to date with what's going on, but also it's a great networking opportunity and kind of puts a face to a name if you've not met them in person yet. Also making sure you're having regular calls with your publishers. So with the top 10 publishers, you should be having calls kind of every month just to go through, it doesn't have to be a long call, a quick 15-20 minute check-in, just what's gone well this month, what hasn't, what we've got coming up, what the brand wants to focus on now, any last minute opportunities, what exposure have we got booked, what exposure did we have booked last month and how did it perform? Just making sure again that you're keeping those lines of communication open with the partners. Then just making sure you're staying up to date. So industry updates, there's always something going on with an affiliate. So just last week was kind of the next installment of all of the honey news. So just making sure you're, best place to kind of talk to your client or your brand about what's going on, and make sure you kind of go subscribe to newsletters as well. Um, One thing if you're the agency is making sure you've got really great client knowledge. So we always do kind of a big onboarding session with our clients and find out more about, their goals, how their business runs. We'll kind of go to their offices and sit in with them if we can, just so then we know it as much as we can about the client. So when we're talking to publishers, we can effectively market them to the publishers and make sure that we've got all the knowledge that we can to then help push their brand forward through affiliates. Then, as I mentioned, kind of automation, so getting those newsletter sends set up, but also make sure you've got all the offers set up within the affiliate network to then push out to the publishers, and rather than just having to kind of send them and relying on the publishers uploading those. And then data, so making sure that you are utilizing data and data sources effectively. So looking at kind of, as Tom mentioned, kind of the triangle of data sources and making sure you know exactly where your revenue is coming from, how incremental it is, and what you need to do to drive your performance further. And I
Perfect.
believe that was all the slides that we had. I think we have some questions, don't we, Tom?
Yeah, I was just going to say we finished bang on time for questions, so that was good timing. Yeah, so we have a couple of questions in already, but if anyone else would like to send them in, feel free. Sure, we've got time to answer a couple. I'll just take the first one. How has the role of affiliate marketing evolved alongside other performance marketing channels, for example? Um, so yeah, I mean, I can answer that one. Claudia, might you want to add to it as well? But I think I think thinking of it as a bigger picture and actually joining up your channel approach. I think for a long time, affiliates kind of sat separately to everything else and it felt like a different space altogether. You know, you kind of had your digital marketing, then you had affiliates sat somewhere else. Um, but actually now this sort of holistic approach, you know, we're seeing businesses start to more think about how does our digital strategy work across everything we do, not just like, oh, this is our Google Ads and somebody will do some work over here on something else. And now it's an all-in-one approach, which is definitely a lot better. And I think with that has brought in sort of more of this focus on what good looks like for an affiliate. Um, and yeah, it has brought in scrutiny on things like voucher codes and stuff like that and the value those bring. But it's also brought in other sort of more of a focus. You know, we're hearing clients, they come to us and they say, you know, we really want to do more like brand partnerships, for example, or PR or content, which is great because I think that's where affiliates probably really excels as well. So I think that's sort of joined up approach, which is probably influenced a lot by like GDPR changes over the last 10 years as well in terms of like what's trackable and what's not. I think people have started to think about joining up all their activity, and I think that's pushed affiliates in a certain direction. But yeah, I think it's affiliates have definitely come into the fold of marketing, digital marketing more over the last few years, and I think that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I agree.
Cool. Glad you agree. Let's see what else do we have. So there's one here. Somebody's asked, this might be a good one for you, Claudia. How do affiliate networks like Awin, WebGains, Impact, for example, how are they all different? Is there any benefits, capabilities, use cases where you might use one over the other?
Yeah, I think at the minute they all seem to be quite level in terms of what they can do as reporting. A lot of them have as well, like all the top publishers. So I think it is a case by case basis of territories. Like some of them are stronger in certain territories. Also price. Some of them have obviously different prices. Um, some of them are better for kind of small businesses. So Awin have like an actual like SME account that you can set up, which is just self-managed. So it's a lot cheaper than kind of having, an account manager at Awin. So that can be great for kind of, smaller businesses and smaller clients that you might have. Um, but like I mentioned, they all kind of now have a lot of kind of incrementality and journey path reporting and kind of commission performance reporting, which is great. They have all kind of come on quite a lot in the last couple of years in terms of kind of what they can do with reporting. But I would say it's more kind of looking at territories, price, and if there's anything specific that you would like. So with Avon, with kind of the brand partnerships, they're probably, a lot more. They've got a lot more kind of brands within the brand partnership scheme on Awin than other affiliate networks.
Makes sense. So probably got time for one more. I mean, this one's quite interesting. So we'll take this one, which is how can GA4 or other reporting tools be used to measure the true value of affiliate activity? So I think we did touch on this a little bit throughout in terms of having the right data set up, but I think, yeah, having all of your data in one place really helps start to answer these questions. I think GA4 can get you some of the way, but in terms of how it is at the moment, I think you need additional data on top of that. So, shameless plug here, but obviously on the Ask Bosco side of things, from our point of view, that's all of your data in one place. And from that, you can really start to see not just the spend fluctuations, but the revenue fluctuations from that, which I think GA4 obviously can't do at the moment because it doesn't have all of your spend in there. Um, and then from that point, that's where you're starting to get into that MMM conversation, which again, you could just do within Ask which is, yeah, how do we understand if were running certain campaigns at certain points throughout the year, what was the uplift? If we ran additional spend at certain points, what was the uplift? If we turn things on, turn things off, what was the uplift? Those kinds of questions. So I think obviously, as with anything in digital marketing, data quality is one of the most important things. But then once you have good quality data, it's getting it all in one place, and being able to then do something with it, basically. And once you can do something with it, then you can start to answer some of those questions and you can begin to drill down into individual performance at platform level or an analytics level, and start to begin making changes. So, yeah, it comes back to that whole triangle question of GA4's good. There's definitely a good platform, but actually it answers part of a question, not a full question. Um, and that's kind of the area where we got up to on that. Um, so yeah, I think that covers most of the questions that we had through. So yeah, thanks for your time, everyone that joined. If you do have any questions, anything you want to reach out to us about, you can always drop us an email. We'll be happy to sort of answer any affiliate questions one to one. But yeah, thanks for your time and enjoy the rest of the week, everyone.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.